Hi, my name is Kara Sable, Benefits and Wellbeing Administrator at AVH. Today we are going to walk through the AVH benefit packet. Our HR team, we have Alicia Miller, Chief Human Resources Officer, Myra Jex, HR Business Partner, Dallas Gillespie, Recruiter, Katie Fielding and Diane Henry, Staff Development, Sharon Thaden, Guest Relations and Greeter, Amy Bearhorse, Employee Health, myself, Benefit and Wellbeing Administrator, Kelsey McCormick, HR Generalist, Eric Zerang, Conference Center and Travel Coordinator, and Chelsea Brem, HR Coordinator. If you work 32 or more hours per week, then you are considered full-time. If you work 24 to 31 hours per week, then you are considered half-time. Both of these statuses allow you to have the full benefit package. First, we're going to go over health and dental. Aspen Valley Hospital is a self-funded PPO plan, which means that the hospital pulls in contributions and our employees pull in contributions, and together that's how we pay for our claims. Allegiance is our third-party administrator. They are a Cigna-owned company, so we have the Cigna network, which is nationwide. Full and half-time employees working an average of 24 hours or more per week are eligible for the medical, dental, and vision plan. Effective the first of the month following employee hire date is when all these benefits will kick in. We have one health plan. It is called the Castle Peak Plan, and it has multiple tiers. So I'm going to walk through these tiers. Normally I would ask if you have any questions to go ahead and stop and interrupt. So if you have any questions after the presentation, please feel free to email me. So we have tier 1, which is AVH. So if we provide the service, we ask that you go to AVH. It has a deductible of $2,000 individual, and family deductible is $4,000. Out-of-pocket max for individual is $5,500, and for family it is $11,000. If AVH does not provide the service, we ask that you go to tier 2, which is Valley View, for that same exact benefit. Or you can go to tier 3, which is Cigna, for an increased individual deductible of $3,000. And for family, it is $6,000. Max out of pocket, $7,350 and $14,700. If you choose to go to tier 2 or tier 3 when AVH provides the service, then it would be processed in tier 4 at that higher benefit. And then tier 5 is out of network. They don't even take Cigna altogether. So please be cognizant of where you go to seek care. And if you ever have any questions regarding what tier, please call Allegiance Customer Service or contact myself. A couple things go towards your out-of-pocket maximum. That includes your deductible, co-pays, co-insurance, and your pharmacy co-pays. So they all go towards that out-of-pocket max. Preventative services are covered at 100%, zero copay. So this list that you see here is everything that's considered preventative. So well child visit, well woman visit, your annual primary care. You'll see these vitamins and minerals listed here are considered preventative when you have a physician script. Primary care visits are a $30 copay across the board, and a specialty copay is going to be $50. For tier 1 and tier 2, once you've hit your deductible, you pay 15% co-insurance. For tier 3, you pay 30%. And then tier 4, you pay 40%, and tier 5 would be 50%. So what you're seeing on the screen is what the hospital is going to cover once you hit that deductible. Urgent care and emergency room are going to be covered at 85% because you can't control where you have your emergencies. We do have a LASIK eye benefit, which is 50% per eye up to $1,000. You have to be with AVH for at least 2 years in order to take advantage of this benefit. And it is offered to dependents now. We just updated that this year. We offer smoking cessation for anyone on the plan. So that's free nicotine replacement therapy covered at 100%. Okay, talking about occupational therapy. So we have The deductible waived for the first 5 visits at any AVH-owned clinic. If you went to anything out of that, it would be 85% after your deductible. It goes towards your deductible after those 5 visits because then it really leaves that preventative realm. Physical therapy, if you go to AVH, it's deductible waived and 85% coinsurance. And then speech therapy and transplant therapy would be just covered at 85% after deductible as well. Chiropractic and acupuncture, we don't have a provider network. So you can go to whoever you want. You have a total of 20 visits that you can use however you would like, 10 and 10, 15 and 5 that are deductible waived. And then anything after that would just go towards your deductible. RX Benefits, ESI Scripts is our pharmacy. We do have a generics first program. So with a generic, it's a $15 copay. And then we have 70% formulary, 50% non-formulary, and specialty with the following out-of-pocket maxes. AVH employee discount. So now that you are an AVH employee, you do receive 50% off of services provided by AVH. And this is for you and your dependents. It's applied after it's been processed through insurance. So you'll see it, you should receive your first bill from AVH and then it'll get processed through insurance and then you'll receive a second bill saying employee discount. You must be enrolled into a health plan. It doesn't have to be our health plan. Here's a snapshot of the preferred premiums for each tier. Preferred meaning participating in the wellness program. So everyone starts off in this preferred tier, and then if you continue to participate in the wellness program, then you would lock in the preferred rate for the following year. So for you, it would be the year 2022. That would be when you would be locking in that rate. Okay, on to dental. We do not have a provider network, so you can go to whoever you want. It is administered by Allegiance. Preventative care is covered at 100%, which includes 2 cleanings and 2 exams per year with a set of x-rays every other year. And then you have a deductible of $50 per individual per calendar year, or $150 per family per calendar year, with basic, major, and ortho services covered. Basic at $80, major at $50, and ortho at $50, with a lifetime benefit of $1,000 for children under 19. This maxes out at $2,000 per individual per year. And please note that there is a 6-month waiting period that applies to these basic and major services. So 6 months you have to hold off on basic and major. Preventative kicks in first of the month following your hire date. Here's a look at the preferred premiums. Again, participating in the wellness program for dental, employee only through family. Our vision plan, again, doesn't have a provider network and is administered by Allegiance. We have an annual eye exam that you can have with a copay of $30 up to $200 covered. Standard lenses, $30 copay. Again, the benefit goes up to $200. Frames every other year, $200 allowance. And contact lenses, again, $200 allowance. And here's a look at the vision rates. Again, tiered out, employee only up to family. A couple things to remember. Our plan year is on the calendar year. Open enrollment is the month of November. So you all have 31 days for your new hire enrollment, and then you won't be able to make any changes until November for effective date of January 1st, 2021. When you're adding dependents, we need copies of a marriage certificate for spouses and birth certificates for all other dependents. And you have to have socials for everyone when you're enrolling them into the plan. So you would do that right through Web Benefits. And you can just email me, scan and email me the marriage certificate or birth certificate, and we'll save those to your file. All right, on to the employee wellness program. As I mentioned, Evolve is the name of our wellness program. We have Virgin Pulse as our platform. We have a point accrual system. So currently everyone is grandfathered into the program. We would just ask that if you would like to keep those preferred premiums, that in the beginning of September, you start to participate, and you'll see lots of communication regarding the wellness program closer to that time. Flex spending accounts. It is an employer-sponsored program that allows employees to pay for insurance-related items on a pre-tax basis. So we have the medical reimbursement and we have dependent care. And this is eligible for full and half-time employees after 6 months of employment. The premium conversion plan allows you to pay for your portion of the medical, dental, and life insurance programs on a pre-tax basis. You are eligible to elect $2,750 for the plan year. And you can use that, as I mentioned, towards medical, dental, vision expenses. Covered that. Dependent care. So you are also eligible for dependent care on a pre-tax basis. Daycare expenses must be incurred because you or your spouse work or attend school, and it's up to children age 13. This is use or lose it, so monies left over cannot be used for healthcare expenses. The max election for dependent care is $5,000 per year. This is just a quick snapshot of why you should participate in Flex, so that potential pre-tax savings. A couple things to remember with Flex. Each account is separate. Money from one account cannot be used for another. Once you make an election, you cannot change it unless you have a qualifying event. Eligible expenses must be incurred between January 1st and December 31st, so the calendar year. You will have $500 from the medical FSA that can roll over into the following year. So say you elect 1,000, you only use 500, that other 500 would roll over. If you elect 1,000 and you only use 300, 500 is still only going to roll over. So just be cognizant of how much you want to elect, and remember that that kicks in after 6 months of your benefit start date. So a lot of you, it won't be until the end of the year. So maybe it just makes more sense to hold off until open enrollment for that calendar year of 1/1. And whatever you elect also is deducted by however many pay periods. So if you make that election in January, then it's divided by those 26 pay periods and comes out at each paycheck to pay towards those monies. You do receive everything up front on a debit card, and it works just like an easy debit card. Sometimes they'll ask for detailed claims or detailed receipts, so it's super easy to upload those to the website. Life insurance. So AVH has a basic life insurance policy that's paid for by AVH. It's 2 times your annual earnings, and it kicks in after 6 months of employment. We also have an accidental death and dismemberment policy that's paid for by AVH, kicks in at 6 months, and is 2 times your annual salary. Survivor life benefits, again, paid for by AVH, kicks in after 6 months, and upon death of an employee, pays 30% of average earnings to the surviving spouse or any eligible children. Leave and disability. So short-term disability pays 100% of your average weekly earnings for up to 6 weeks, and pays 60% of your average weekly earnings from weeks 7 through 12. So you have 12 weeks annually. And this coincides with FMLA, so you have to make sure that it's FMLA certified as well. And it's for any personal injury or illness within. So this benefit kicks in after you've been here for 1 year. There's another benefit, it's like almost a mini short-term disability policy that kicks in after 6 months, and that's a 30-day medical leave policy. Once you've exhausted short-term disability, you're eligible for long-term disability. And again, this kicks in at 6 months of employment and pays 60% of your average weekly earnings up to age 65. Leave of absence, or FMLA, is eligible after you've hit 1 year of employment and you've worked 1,250 hours, and is up to 12 weeks of protected leave. It's to be used for a personal serious health condition or that of an immediate family member, care of a newborn, adoption, etc. So this allows employees to maintain benefits and job status during the leave. So it's protected unpaid leave, and then you have your short-term disability, which is your paid leave. Leave of absence, you can take a personal leave of absence after you've been here for 1 year for a max leave of 90 days. Your benefits would continue for the first 30 days, and your job is not guaranteed upon return. So that just means that this isn't FMLA certified. Military leave, employees are allowed up to 4 years leave plus reinstatement time. All right, on supplemental plans. The following plans are available to you at a group rate, and they're portable, and they are paid for solely by the employee. So these come out payroll deduct. You have supplemental life and AD&D. That's, again, eligible after 6 months of employment. Employee may elect increments of 10,000 with a max coverage of 500,000, guaranteed issue of 100,000. So anything over that 100,000, you would have to go through medical underwriting with Cigna to be allotted whatever your election was. For the spouse, the guaranteed issue is 30,000, and the max election you can make is 500,000. And these are age-banded premiums. Dependent life, you may elect coverage in increments of 2,000, and the max coverage is 10,000. AD&D, you can do increments of 25,000, and again, up to 5,000. And you can do AD&D employee or family. Voluntary critical illness. So you can elect up to 5, 10, or 20,000, and it is an age and tobacco banded premium. So whatever you elect, if your spouse or child were to, if you were to choose that particular tier, if they have any of those conditions listed, they would get 50% of the amount or 25% of the employee election amount. And this benefit also kicks in at 6 months of employment. Voluntary accident plan. So, it is what you think it means. If you were to break a bone or say you tear your ACL in the mountain, you submit all those claims into Cigna, and they have a book that says ACL tear, X amount of dollars, or hospital stay, this amount of dollars. This benefit kicks in at 6 months, and the monthly rates are tiered out, employee only to family. Employee Assistance Program, Triad, is our EAP. They offer 3 free confidential counseling sessions per year per an incident for you and your family members. They also do financial counseling, legal assist, will prep. They're a great resource in the Valley. We tell everyone, just like it's important to have a primary care relationship, it's also important to have a mental health provider relationship as well. Student loan program. So AVH has partnered with SoFi to assist with student loan refinancing needs. So if you go to that link, you can see what you can refinance for. I will just say that once you refinance with them, it leaves that federal area. So just be cognizant of that if you're in any repayment programs. Pet insurance. We have pet insurance through Nationwide. So you can go in and put in the age and breed of your pet, and it will tell you what the deductible is. We actually have a handful of employees that take advantage of this, myself included. So I highly recommend the pet insurance. Alternative transportation incentives. I mentioned in the wellness presentation, we have bus cards that are a $40 value for $8 to get to and from work. We also do a rideshare stipend for $250 per person per way for AVH employees that you can turn in. And then we also do zone passes. So if you're someone that's commuting from Glenwood to AVH every day and you're burning through the passes, then you can connect with Chelsea on purchasing the zone pass if that's what fits your needs. Some additional employee perks, we have the tuition assistance program. So if you're looking at furthering your degree, so say you're an RN and you want your BSN, you can submit an application to the tuition assistance committee to see if they will grant you the $10,000 to go towards that degree. There's a couple of requirements. You have to be here for a year in order to apply. And then we ask that you also stay a year after you complete your degree as well. We also have Scholar's Choice 529 savings for any dependents that you want to start college fund for. We have Aflac, they're here quarterly and they have any supplemental policy you can think of, so keep a lookout for them. We have discounted programs like Verizon and Sprint. Those are usually posted and attached in our HR Weekly. And then we offer ski pass deductions for employee and spouses as well. So usually we roll those out like in August and September. All right, paid time off and shift differentials. Full and half-time and part-time employees accrue PTO based on hours worked. This is available after 3 months of employment. Your PTO is to be used for holidays, vacation, and initial 24 hours of sick leave or disability. So say you're out sick for a week, the first 24 hours worked would be PTO, and then STD would kick in. You can roll your PTO over from year to year with a max accrual of 312 hours. Employees who work 40 hours per week will accrue 20 days by the end of the first year based on an 8-hour workdays. Once you hit your first anniversary, you'll accrue up to 24 days per year. So this is just a snap of the accrual based on length of service. Jury duty is available for full-time, half-time, and part-time employees with proof of summons and attendance. We pay up to 1 week of your average working hours. Funeral leave for death of immediate family members only. We pay up to 1 week based on your average working hours as well. Holiday pay. AVH pays time and a half for the following holidays that our employees are required to work. So for example, if I want to take July 4th off, I'm not required to work, so I would use a PTO day. Sometimes it's just working it out with your manager. Maybe that work week looks like 410s, or you still come in or whatever, but only if you're required to work will you get paid time and a half. Here are the shift differentials for those that apply. So night shift, weekend day, and weekend night shift. All right, final stretch, retirement plans. So first we have our 457B, which is our defined contribution. We have an auto enrollment plan at 6%. So if you see 457B on your pay stub, that's what this is. The employee max contribution for 2020 is $19,500 with an additional $6,500 for catch up for employees over age 50. Investing is 100% from date of deposit. So if you were to leave, everything would go with you. So this plan is equivalent to a 401k. Next, we have our 401A defined contribution plan. This kicks in after 1 year of service and after you've hit 1,000 hours worked. AVH will match 50% of a contribution up to 2.5% of the employee's salary. So it's important to, once you hit that 1 year, to be at least contributing 5% in order to max out your match at 2.5%. So if you did 4, the hospital would match 2. If you did 10, the hospital is still only going to max out at 2.5%. This plan has a 3-year vesting period, meaning you have to participate or you have to be employed with AVH for 3 years in order to have 100% vesting. Next, we have our cash balance retirement plan, which is in lieu of Social Security. So AVH contributes 7.5% of the employee's salary based on that calendar year. And this is calculated and uploaded to principal on an annual basis. And so again, a 3-year vesting period, meaning you have to participate in the plan for 3 years in order to have access or to be able to take those funds with you at 100%. All right, that was a lot of information that we quickly went over. Everyone should have a copy of the benefit guide as well. So as I mentioned before, if there's any other questions you guys have questions about regarding benefits or the wellness program, please don't hesitate to reach out. If you haven't already received an email from me regarding how to enroll into web benefits to make your benefit elections, keep on the lookout for that. And thank you guys for your time.